Okay. All right. I'm going to pretend that things are actually working. Anyway, this is Marcel Gagne here. Hello. This is experiment number two. Experiment number two. Yesterday, I decided that I would fire up a default machine, and that default machine was going to be running a Debian 9. And I created a machine called Fluffy Bunny using AQEMU, which is actually a way to run a virtual machine on your Linux desktop. Anyway, that was the plan. That was the plan, and I'm doing that right now. I'm actually in the process of taking a look and seeing where I left off yesterday. By the way, I'm going to hit continue here because I want to install the grub bootloader. The bootloader is that little thing that comes up that says, is this what you want to boot? Do you want to boot it into any particular mode? And of course, if you've got more than one operating system on your machine, it actually asks you which one you want to run. So it's kind of like a boot menu. Think about it that way. Anyway, so I'm going to hit continue here, and I'm going to continue talking. Enter device manually. Oh no, I mean, there's only one, so we're just going to go with that. So there we go. Continue running grub install. Lovely, lovely. Anyway, the reason for experiment number two, following experiment number one, was I'm curious. I suspect that at the moment there's no one out there, just me. But it doesn't matter. The point is, would you like to see, do you think it would be useful to have a Linux and free software channel where I show you how to use various Linux and open source software, how to use your Linux desktop, all that lovely sort of stuff? Is this the sort of thing that you would like to be able to do, or you would like me to be able to do for you? Anyway, let me know. Let me know. Let me know if this is the sort of thing that you might find useful. All right, I'm going to hit continue, gathering information, and now the system will reboot. There we go. There's our grub boot menu. All right, let's hit OK and let it load Linux. The default Linux that was installed on there, which, as you know, is Debian 9, especially if for some strange reason you went and watched the original video in this series. All right? All right. Anyway, so we're doing that right now, and we're booting up, and it is happening as we speak. There we have your username and password. And if you remember yesterday, my password is super secret. And I really hope that's it, because, otherwise I wouldn't remember what password I came up with yesterday. But I'm doing it now anyhow. So there we go. So I am in the process of running this thing, Fluffy Bunny, Fluffy Bunny. And, let me see. All right, it is booting up even as we speak, as you can tell from that K gear sitting in the center. Well, maybe you can't tell. I don't know. If you're from the Linux world, then you know that this is the KDE desktop, aka Plasma. The modern version of KDE. And we're almost there. We're almost there. It's so very exciting. Let's go and click that K down in the corner there. There we go, the application launcher. And the system is actually up and running. And in fact, if I wanted to, I could go Conqueror, and I could fire up Conqueror right now. Conqueror is actually it's all sorts of things. It's a file manager. It's a web browser. It's all sorts of things. Open location. Let's go open location, and I'm going to go HTTP because I want to show you that this is actually a lot of different things all at once. Twitch.tv. There we go. So I'm saying open that up, and I'm just going to maximize that to the full screen here. And there you go. Tickets are on sale for TwitchCon 2017. How very exciting. I'm going to click the X in the corner just to get that out of the way. And in fact, I'll go search, and I'll go Jagdish. Oops. No search results found. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The point is, there you go. So we can use Conqueror as a web browser. You see? We can use Conqueror as a web browser. We fired it up right now. And I'm going to say yes, discard changes. It's not the most ideal web browser in the entire world, but there it is. Anyway, if we hit the K in the lower corner here, you're going to see the sorts of default applications that come installed. Now, this is what's called the favorites menu here, okay? But if I go into applications here, you'll notice that there's an internet menu. And in the internet menu, we have a bunch of other things, including the Firefox web browser. And we don't have Google Chrome installed at the moment, but let's say add to favorites down here. So now if I go to, when I hit that K menu down here and I fire it up, what you might like to think of as the start menu, I've got the Firefox web browser sitting down here. So now I've got a slightly better web browser than I would have had if I was using just Conqueror. I mean, Conqueror's fine. Part partly because it's this great, if you'll pardon the expression, Swiss Army knife of web browsers, because it does pretty much everything. Like I said, file manager, web browser, you name it. But it's not the most ideal modern web browser. And there we go, Firefox giving us that lovely start. So that's how you add things to close tabs. That's how you add things to the menu here. Now, if I click that menu again and I decide for, oh, I don't know, I don't actually want to have Conquer. If I right click on this, I've got remove from favorites. So all of a sudden now it's removed from favorites. One of the things that I always have is console, which is a terminal application, so I can do command line stuff. Now I could go and search through the various things, application, blah blah blah, but I can also just start to type here, and then I get console. There we go, console. So now if I want the console in the start menu, I'm going to go add to favorites. And one of the things that is definitely one of my favorites because I use it all the time is the console. I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it up. See what I'm doing there? I can drag it and position it anywhere I want in the system. So if I want Firefox as the second thing, I think that's useful. I can do that. Let's go back to applications. What? No games? There are no games installed? That's just unforgivable. Mathematics, formula editor. Well, that's going to come in useful. I'm going to use that every day. Formula editor. There we go again. That's just going to use that every single day. Absolutely. Applications. Let's go back. Multimedia. Multimedia. Disk burning. Music player. Juke and video player. Dragon. The best music player. I'm sorry, it's not Juke. The best music player is probably Amarok, and it's not installed. But hey, this is a perfect way for me to show you how you install additional stuff. Okay, so let's go to applications. I'm going to go back to applications. I'm going to go install. Oops, that's not how you spell install. Install. And there we go. Software management. There's Discover, Software Center. So I'm going to click on Discover. I'm going to fire that up right now. And I'm going to go in there. There we go. Most popular. Now I could just I could go into applications here. It'll show me all sorts of things. The thing that's kind of neat about this is let's go to games just for fun. We'll go to games. All right, and it's going to load up a bunch of different games. But let's go arcade type games. Keep in mind, I am running inside a virtual machine here, and I did not give this thing a whole heck of a lot of memory. If you were seeing that yesterday, then you know that I didn't do an awful lot in terms of installing on here. So let's just go, I don't know, what's an arcade game? Oh, Frozen Bubble. There's a good one. Frozen Bubble. Frozen Bubble. Let's see. Frozen Bubble search. What? What? See, that's the problem with doing something live. It doesn't always work the way that you expect it to. So let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. I'm not looking for installed stuff. I'm not looking for installed software. Settings, no. There we go. There's all the different places that I can install from. Let's go back. I'm going to get rid of Frozen up here because for whatever reason it's not actually showing up. There we go. Dilbert. Dilbert is among the most popular things that I can install on there. Garfield. Seriously? Now doc. Oh, that's all nice. Applications. How come I'm not seeing applications? Is it really that I'm running that slowly in here? You know what? Let me show you another way to do this, all right? And then I'm going to go back and try to figure out, maybe this is just a, let's go back to my favorites here and open up console. And what I'm going to do in the console is I'm going to go sudo apt update. And password for Marcel, super secret. What? I'm not in the sudoers file. That's ridiculous. Su hyphen. Oh, that's right. Okay, this is Debian as opposed to Ubuntu. Now, Debian is actually based on Ubuntu, but they're really not the same. So apt update. Let's get the latest software. Maybe it didn't have the latest software off the web, which is why I couldn't find that stuff. So apt update. Apt is the software installer. Okay, that is actually what it is. The software installer. All right, there we go. Apt. And at this point, I could do something like apt dist upgrade, which would upgrade the distribution. And just for fun, let's take a look at how many packages. Oh, there are none. It's fully up to date. That's so sweet. All right, but let's just go apt install. Remember I was trying to talk about Frozen Bubble? All right, let's install Frozen Bubble, just because I happen to know this is a real piece of software. There you go. These are all the packages that are associated with it. It suggests some additional things I might want to install, but really I just want to go ahead and continue. So there you go. So I am installing directly from the internet all the different packages necessary to update Frozen Bubble. So here we go. Here we go. Ta-da-ta-da-ta-da. And it's happening. Progress 54%. This is, by the way, this is actually really how you install packages from the command line. So you're watching this live and in action. So now if I type FRO, there we go, Frozen Bubble. It has been installed. It has been installed. So now I can click Frozen Bubble, a piece of software loading. And you know what? This is actually... Uh-oh. All right, let's go. This is pretty easy to play, isn't it? There we go. We throw the bubbles, and the idea is to match up with different colors. And you've got to do this before the screen all breaks apart. And of course, this thing starts to move down. So if I wait, there we go. That'll work. And there's a blue, and there we go. We have a winner. And the crowds go wild. See, you didn't think there was going to be some gaming on here, but there actually is some gaming. There we go. We just did that. So we installed ourselves a piece of software direct from here. And, let's go back in here. Now that I've actually updated the software that's available, let's go back into the software installer here. Let's go. That would probably be under System. There we go. Not Info Center. There we go. Software Center. Discover. Let's see if it sees anything more now that I've actually done the apt update to bring in the latest bits and pieces of software. Otherwise, I am going to go ahead. Oh, there we go. That would have been it. That looks like it's probably it. So there you go. So now it gives me most popular network manager. That's the most popular piece of software that people are installing. I think that they're just making this stuff up. Nautilus, Bracero for burning CDs, although on here we already have K3B for burning CDs/DVDs. Applications. Let's go. Oh, there we go. That's it. That's the reason. Okay, so I can't really beat up on Discover because I hadn't actually bothered to tell it to update the software. OAD, a real-time strategy game of ancient warfare. Historically based, where the players rewrite history. Abe's Amazing Adventure, a scrolling platform, jumping, key collecting. Sounds a little tiny bit like what's his name? Oh man, I am Nintendo. Come on, the plumber dude, Luigi. Sounds a bit like Luigi. Advanced Strategic Command, Airstrike, Amoebux, Armageddon Advanced. I loved Armageddon. I think it was great. Bam Bam, keyboard smashing and doodling game for babies. Battle for Westnot, Super Tanks. Anyway, so you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff there. And if for some strange reason I decide that I want to have a particular game installed, let's do Blob Wars, Metal Blob Solid. There we go. Let's go install. And that's all there's to it. Install. Now, what's the password for root? Because, of course, that is the administrator, and the administrator must be brought in to do these things. Whoops, I typed the wrong password. It's such a simple password, super secret. You'd think I would remember that, but I did not. I did not. All right, there we go. So now we're installing. We're installing, and oh, there we go. Tasks, 0%. Do I get to see? There we go. Metal Blob Solid. So presumably this is going to happen somewhere in the background. Yes, folks, it's live, so I can't promise that it's going to be absolutely perfect when I'm doing it. It just is. It just is. Da, 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 da. While I wait for this to happen. While I wait for this to happen. Wow. Seriously? Seriously, dude. Seriously. I'm waiting to see. Oh, installed. Oh, okay. I could have had like a little bar. Couldn't you have showed me like a little bar or something like that was happening? All right, let's go down here, and I'll just type metal. There we go, metal blob, or Blob Wars, Metal Blob Solid, and I can just say add to favorites, and assuming of course I wanted that in my favorites. I'm not saying I do. And now of course we can fire up this particular game. There we go. Blob Wars, Metal Blob Solid. It's free software. Yada yada yada. Press space to continue. I don't know anything. I don't know how this is played. No metal key. Well, since I don't know how it's played, I'm not even going to bother because I have no idea how this is played. So I'm not going to do this right now. But anyway, that's how you do it. Graphic software, we got game software, we got internet software, and publishing software. There we go. Texi La Scribus. Scribus is actually a lovely package. It's a lovely piece of software, and it's well worth your time if you do that sort of stuff, page layout and publication stuff. Does anybody still do that? I'm sure somebody still does that. So there's photography, Gwenview, digital camera, G-Thumb, GTK, Digicam. This is like the best photo software ever. It really is. You want to install this one. So anyway, I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, so that now you see how this actually works, and this is experiment number 2, and I'm going to stop it here. And I just want to say, first of all, if you happen to be on YouTube, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Free Thinker at Large. This is how you type it: FREE, Okay, that's on YouTube. So Free Thinker at Large is my channel on YouTube. WFTL is what I am on Twitter, so you can find me there as well. And tell me whether you'd like to see some cooking with Linux stuff. Please do tell me, and you can tell me either in a comment on YouTube or you can tell me in a comment here. Doesn't really matter. Would you like to do some live? This is what's really happening. Linux stuff, and that's it. I'm wrapping it up here. Talk to you later. Oh yeah, subscribe. Yeah, so that you know when something's happening. Subscribe to my channel. You know how this works. Bye. Okay, bring back OBS Studio, fire it up here, and then hit the stop streaming button. Stop.